Hello? Who's there?
I am the Lord. I appeared to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as El Shaddai.
Oh, yeah, you. Good to talk to you again, yeah?
But my real name is...
You can trust me, I won't pronounce it to a soul.
You're a good kid, Moses. I'm going to make you 4 promises. I will free you from the burdens of the Egyptians and deliver you from their bondage. I will redeem you with an outstretched arm, and I will take you to be my people, and I will be your God.
Sounds good to me, your godship.
You know what, Moses? Because I like you, I'm going to make you a 5th bonus promise. I will bring you into the land which I swore to your...
Thanks a lot, yeah. But I gotta run. I got this appointment to talk to Pharaoh. Thanks again.
You know, the Torah sometimes has this, convoluted way of telling stories. Right here in the middle of the plot, they stop the action and give us another genealogy. Well, take a look at this picture. We've got Reuben's sons, Hanoch, Palu, and Cherzon, and Carmi. Next to them are Shimon's family, then Levi's, and following them are the rest of Israel's offspring. If you look at the corner, you can see Amram and Yocheved, the parents of Moses, Aaron, and Miriam. And now back to our story.
Once again, it's time for Pharaoh and Company. Tonight, Pharaoh's guests include a Babylonian magician, Nefertiti, with 3 new crocodile recipes, and back once more, those 2 Hebrew comics, Moses and Aaron. And now, here's Pharaoh.
Welcome back, Moses and Aaron.
My brother says to tell you that God told him to tell me to tell you to let my people go.
Sounds like a threat. Can you back it up with any miracles? Why don't you show us, and the audience at home, some of your marvels?
My brother says to tell you to pick a card, any card.
Now it's time, once again, for the Pyramid Newsreel, bringing you the news from across the map, from all over the known world, collecting stories from Upper and Lower Egypt, and even from places as far away as Canaan. It was 6:48 a.m. Most of Egypt was still asleep when Moses and Aaron, the sons of Amram, went down to the Nile River to follow God's command. Following orders, Aaron lifted up his staff and struck the water. It was 6:53 a.m. Karnak Carmichael was down at the Nile, swimming his morning laps before heading off to his job of embalming bodies of lesser nobles.
Yeah, I'm used to blood and guts. It's part of my life. I work with them every day. But on this particular morning, I came out of my slip turn right into a river, which had turned into blood. What a mess. The whole river became one big clot. Gotta tell you, warm glass of blood will never replace orange juice in the morning.
It was 5:42 in the evening, the sun was beginning to set, and Pharaoh had still not agreed to let the Jewish people leave Egypt. 7 days had passed, and Moses and Aaron were again standing by the riverbank. Aaron followed God's orders to Moses. He held his staff over the water, and the second plague began. It was 6:04 p.m. At 6:05, Nefertiti Miranda was busy getting ready for her evening performance. She was one of the dancing girls who entertained Pharaoh and the court during dinner. She was bathing in oil and spices to get ready.
There I was in the tub, taking my daily soak. After all, a girl has to take care of her skin. Well, there I am soaking. When I reached down to pick up my bar of soap, I found a frog in my hand. Disgusting. Seconds later, the whole tub was full of them, frogs crawling all over my body. I was so afraid that I was going to get warts everywhere.
While during the plague of the frogs, Pharaoh almost changed his mind and let the Jewish people go. Once again, he relented. It was time to bring the next plague. It was 1:15, and Moses and Aaron went out to the fields. There, following God's command, Moses directed Aaron to strike the dust with his staff. Almost instantly, the entire land of Egypt was filled with lice. Even Pharaoh's magicians, who had matched the plagues of blood and frogs, believed that this was indeed God's work.
Once again, welcome back to Pharaoh and Company. Our guests are those 2 Hebrews, Moses and Aaron.
Moses, Aaron, could you please tell us what you really want?
Moses says that God says that we should tell you that our people are supposed to go into the wilderness to worship our God. If not, God will bring another plague.
That afternoon, the land of Egypt was filled with the next plague, swarms of insects. The bugs were everywhere but Goshen, the Jewish suburb. Martina Kaufman explains.
I'd gotten up early that morning and jogged my 4 miles. After my shower, I was on my way to the brick-making plant. When I got to the end of the block, the place where the town line ends and downtown Egypt begins, there was a solid wall of insects. In Goshen, there wasn't a single bug, but as soon as you crossed into Egypt, there was a solid swarm.
I've got to admit, Moses, Aaron, that this God of yours does pretty impressive work. What is it that you really want?
Moses says that God says that he should tell me to tell you that God ordered you to let us to take our cattle and go 3 days into the desert to worship. God says,
"Let my people go."
Pharaoh agreed to let the Jewish people go, but then again changed his mind. The pattern repeated. All the Egyptian cattle got sick, while those of the Israelites remained well. Pharaoh agreed to let the Jewish people go, and then relented. The next evening, Moses and Aaron, following God's command, took handfuls of soot from the kiln and threw them into the air. Every living thing in Egypt immediately contracted boils, even the magicians and even the court. Pharaoh agreed to let the Jewish people go, and then changed his mind. Next, Moses held out his hand towards the sky, and the land was assaulted by hail. Once more, the same pattern repeated. Pharaoh agrees to let the Jewish people go, then again changes his mind.